school, the parents complained that the girl asked for exit, and the girl was not given the exit. But I was cautioning my teachers to be very careful and err on the side of caution. That as teachers, we want to have a perfect environment. We want to have a disciplinary institution. In doing that, when something happens, the teacher is held liable, like has happened at St. Monica's. The Ghana Education Service is giving us a set of rules for us to follow. Some as teachers, we are uncomfortable with it. For example, as you and I speak today, you cannot cane a student in a senior high school or any school in Ghana. That is the new law. But some teachers have gone their way to exact caning punishment, which in the end resulted in death. Those teachers, as we speak, are in trouble. A teacher in Eastern Region was committed to prison custody just because a student died after he has caned the student. A parent comes to a school and says, look, this weekend I need my daughter home. It is, you can certify that this is the parent of the child. Why should the school deny the child going home with the parent when the parent demands that I want to go home with my child for this and that a reason, and I'll bring her back to school to go to school on Monday, or so on and so forth? I am cautioning my teachers. I am advising my teachers. Don't play God. Don't indicate that you love the students more than the parents who gave birth to the students. The convent type of boarding house that was practical and effective in the 60s and the 70s is no longer practical and effective in the year 2023. My main purpose is to caution my teachers to err on the side of caution.
So the actual incident happened in May, where that student unfortunately lost her life. We know that the management of the school has been interdicted pending a probe, but the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, whose president we just heard, Angel Kabonu, has done their own investigations into the matter, and these are the findings they are putting out. For which reason he seems to have an issue with the management of the school and how they handled the entire issue.
I mean, Nana, it's a very painful one. I mean, to send your ward to school for them to lose their life in a very tragic manner like that can be very painful and devastating to the family. So our sincere condolence to the family of the young lady who lost their life under such circumstances. I mean, Nana, we've been through the system before, so I mean, we understand it better. I mean, back in Accra Academy, there were quite a number of times this similar thing played out, only that it didn't have a very, very terrible ending like this, where teachers, for some reason, refused to grant an exit for a sick student to go to the hospital. Thankfully, we had the Cocoa Clinic nearby in Accra Academy, so it was much easier. Maybe a good Samaritan teacher would probably drive the sick person there and all of that. But there were also times where students would want to misbehave with trying to get an exit for other reasons under the pretenses of being sick.
It's quite worrying, because if you know where St. Monica's is, just behind St. Monica's is the Mampong Hospital.
Yeah, and it builds, it segues right into the point I'm coming to make about the fact that why are we not having proper, well laid out infirmaries in our schools? I mean, in basic school where I was, St. Teresa's School, we had a sick bay and a qualified nurse in the school at all times. Is it because it's privately run? I mean, so for me, I struggle to understand why, after all these years, in major secondary schools in the country, we don't have proper sick bays, we don't have proper infirmaries. And for me, the call is that we should now begin to look at it again, where we have qualified nurses run shifts at these infirmaries. You could probably get qualified nurses from nearby health centers. So if the school is located near in an area that has like a health hospital, a clinic, maybe a nurse a day would run the shift at particular times, right, to help deal with these issues when they come up. But I think it's about time we get that. We should stop just looking for some rugged structure somewhere that will put paracetamol there.
We need to prioritize.
Yeah, we should
things.
prioritize it, right? And we should make it proper. And these calls have been long, from getting in place proper counseling centers in our senior high schools to getting in place proper infirmaries, right? I think the focus over the years has been on tuition and has been on feeding, right, to the neglect of these other important areas that all come together to ensure a holistic development of the child in a school. So I think the GS should take it up seriously. NGOs within the educational space should also take up this advocacy. We in the media will continue to push for some of these things. And I think NAGRAT, the call from Angel Kabonu is sound, it's proper, and I hope the teachers will adhere to it. You don't love the students more than the parents at home, right? Course. And in any case, who is taking care of the child? So I hope we use this as a learning curve, really, in the future.
Well, one more thing we need to pay critical attention to is the records of the various students under our tutelage, especially the medical records, and know what conditions or not a student suffers or otherwise. And this helps in how we deal or handle particular students. A person may have a serious allergy, a person may have whatever condition it is. That person should not be treated like as any other ordinary student.
I totally agree.
So we need to pay particular attention.
Especially in the boarding house.
Especially in the boarding house, yes. We need to pay particular attention to the medical records.